Well, Charles Barkley just recently criticized the Golden State Warriors again, saying that he just doesn't like to watch them play. Don't like to see teams just shoot threes and try to outscore other teams, and basically said they play girly basketball. And this drew the ire of people such as Rachel Nichols and Trace McGrady. Rachel Nichols said that those comments were sexist, and Trace McGrady said Charles Barkley just need to accept the evolution of basketball as more threes are being shot. And I'm like this, my personal opinion is I agree with Charles Barkley 100%. It kind of reminds me, it's just too much, right? And I love the 3-point shot. I grew up loving looking at highlights of Larry Bird hitting threes, and watching guys like John Starks and Reggie Miller and Tim Hardaway and Allen Houston, make threes. But back then, a lot of threes would have been. He was 4 of 6 from 3-point range. That was a lot of threes. Like, we got guys now who shoot like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 threes in games sometimes, individually. And that's just ridiculous, man. In that 60-point game Kobe had, he took 21 3-pointers, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was a career high. That's ridiculous. It's too much. And it reminds me of Major League Baseball in the 90s, man. I remember in 1998, right? If my memory serves me correctly, Mark McGwire had 70 home runs, Sammy Sosa 66, Ken Griffey Jr. 56, Greg Vaughn had 50. Albert Bell was one homer shy of 50 with 49, right? And I think Andres Galarraga had 47. And you had a lot of guys with 40-plus home runs, Manny Ramirez had I think he had like 45 home runs or something that season. It was just a lot of guys with like 40-plus home runs. And it was just out of whack, man. And many of the purists were angry because it's like it was such a focus on home runs, but other aspects of the game were starting to be forgotten, like base running, base stealing, hitting for average, focus on defense and stuff like that. And I can understand that now myself with the NBA, because it's such a focus on 3-point shot now that other aspects of the NBA are being forgotten, like the fucking center position, for instance. Nobody cares about centers anymore. All right, you even got centers that just step back and shooting fucking threes, like Miritek. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, back in the day, yeah, Bill Laimbeer could step back there and shoot threes. Yes, Jack Sikma could step back and shoot some threes, but they did do other things. Like, Bill Laimbeer was a tenacious rebounder. I'll give him that. I hate the fucking Pistons, right? But I'll give him that. Bill Laimbeer was a tenacious rebounder, all right? Jack Sikma was a very good rebounder, all right? Matter of fact, going to Laimbeer could barely fucking jump, and he was a very good rebounder. Dirty, yes, but he was an effective player, all right? Jack Sikma was a very good rebounder, and he had an above-average post game, all right? That's why so many players lack post games, because there's no focus on that shit anymore. Then when you see guys inexplicably miss shots down low, you're like, well, why the fuck did he suck? Well, nobody cares about post game anymore. Everybody, all they want to do is shoot fucking threes. So you got centers that shoot 41% from downtown, but around the basket they shoot like 40% and shit. Like, what the fuck is that? But yeah, the point of this video is, I guess, is who's a bigger hater of the Golden State Warriors? Charles Barkley or me? Or is it someone else? Because I'll say this to distinguish between me and Charles. I think Charles just dislikes the way they play. It's not personal. He just hates the way they play. I no, not only do I hate the way that the Warriors play, I don't like most of the people on that team. All right, I don't dislike Stephen Curry, but I think he's overrated. All right, Klay Thompson, I don't particularly like him. Fucking jerk. Kevin Durant, don't get me fucking started on that fucking traitor. All right, he's a fucking traitor. He's a phony. I'm glad Drake dissed his fucking ass throughout that whole game on Drake night and bumped into his bitch ass. All right. Hey, you're a fucking traitor, and I hope you don't fucking win anything. Draymond Green's a fucking ultra jerk. All right. And he's a fucking dirty piece of shit player. And he looks like fucking Waldo Geraldo Faldo from Family Matters. I don't like him. And you can't make me like him.